Hey, when we're going on the notes back and forth about this interview, I saw that Jeopardy has an exclamation behind it. I think I knew that, but I'd forgotten it. So, like, do you say, hey, let's watch Jeopardy? Like, do you say it that way at home?
Yeah, that's what you learn on the shows. You have to say it like that. Otherwise, you're in big trouble.
You have to exclaim it.
Jeopardy!
Like that. Exactly. And your enthusiasm, I'm sure, carried through. Were you nervous? I was nervous asking that question, obviously. I mean, my voice cracked in anticipation of you showing your vulnerability.
I definitely was, Ken. When I heard my name called by the legendary Johnny Gilbert the first time, definitely some butterflies going for me. But talk about a dream come true. Right up there with doing some of the pieces that we used to do back in the day was my time on Jeopardy.
Yeah, remember when you hit T.J. Lang with a head of cabbage? We have a clip of that right here, probably. Pause for that. I wish we had a clip of you doing it. I'd love to see how you actually carried it out, because it would be interesting. I mean, there had to be different pressure, totally different pressure than your normal job. You know how to throw a football. You know how to call a huddle. Like, that's old. You know, I'm sure there's times in games where the energy picks up, but this is a brand new thing. You got to read those words right. You got to be the master of ceremonies for the whole thing.
Yeah, there would have been some great B-roll, Ken. I know you know what that means. But some behind-the-scenes stuff, some BTS would have been pretty cool. I mean, I studied my ass off. I really did. I watched hours and hours of episodes from a new perspective, watching as the host now, studying Alex, every beat of the show. And then when I got the clues, which they're very hush-hush about the clues, which they should be, just saying them out loud and figuring out commas and emphasis points and I wanted to be as thorough and prepared as possible. There's no real way, I don't think, of being completely prepared, just because you have just so much going on, and I'm talking about like being able to read perfectly every single clue. Like, I think even the great Alex had to do a couple pickups at the end of the show, just because there's words you may have seen one or two times, and it might be clue number 17, and you have 305 clues in one day you got to read perfectly. It's a tall task, but I approached it with a lot of respect, not just for the show and being a huge fan of the show, but for Alex, and wanted to do his memory justice by just being as prepared as I possibly could.
Alex, big shoes to follow, obviously, as you just alluded to. Did you ever think maybe two people are needed to pull this off, and you could have called out to like somebody you've worked with a bunch of times and have a good relationship with? Did you ever think about that, Aaron?
It's all about you, buddy. It's always been all about you. I mean, even back to some of our little bits. The main event, you never let me really get a lot of words in. I think about what you did to me. You dressed me up in a towel. You made me hit my teammates with cabbage. You made me, say derogatory things to other teammates. You dressed me up in all kinds of crazy things and had me saying crazy stuff, and it was all about you. I mean, I never got a whole lot of credit for that. It was always, you give me 4 or 5 seconds in a piece maybe, and kick me down the road.
I didn't really mean it that way. It was just for the greater good of the piece, whatever was called for. How did you actually get into this? Did you just name drop your love of Jeopardy so many times, sort of like The Office, how you snuck in there with one show to go?
Yeah, I mean, look, you gotta grease the right wheels. I think I was a huge fan of the show, and the opportunity came up 6 years ago to be on the show as a Celebrity Jeopardy contestant, and it was a no-brainer for me. And I always wanted to go back. I wanted to square up against one of your all-time favorite actors and possibly friends, Cheech, as in Cheech Marin from Cheech and Chong fame. He's won a number of Celebrity Jeopardy games. I kind of want to square off with him and see how I could do. They never asked me back on the show, and unfortunately, with Alex's passing this past year, there's been opportunities for guest hosts. Luckily, my name got circulated in that pool. I made it known that I really, really wanted it. I love the show, and I just thought it'd be just a dream of an opportunity to do, and very thankful for for those couple days on set. What a great crew they have there. So many lifers there. People have been with the show for 25 plus years. Mike Richards, the EP, has only been there a little bit of time, but he was an absolute blast to work with, and he really helped me. I think you're going to see in the next 2 weeks. He helped me look as good as I possibly could. And I'm very thankful for his guidance during those few days.
When you would play Jeopardy at home along with the show, did you do it like me, where you don't count the minuses and only the good ones, and then you feel better about yourself?
Of course. I mean, I think as I learned being a contestant on the show, if you buzz in and you get it wrong, you get minus. But if you're at home, you try and guess on every answer, because every now and then if you get some random one like
Bulgarian
Bill Murray
art or something,
you sitting there at Lake Titicaca, it's like you get some people around you going, man, how'd you get so smart? I can't say that I haven't watched a few episodes, and then they rerun some from time to time, and if you have a new group of people around you and you're watching Jeopardy and it's a show you've seen before, it makes you seem even smarter.
I'm sure you honored Alex well. I got to meet him once. He was a big Chicago Bulls fan, doing a Michael Jordan story. He was involved.
You're a big Canadian fan. I know you and the mullet.
Of course, Barry.
Barry. Have
Michael J. Fox. I know all sorts of Canadians. Let's talk football. Yeah, Bieber, Justin. Are you going to try out for quarterback again this season, or are you looking at another spot?
Yeah, Ken, I really feel like I still got a little bit left in the tank, and I'm going to keep going for, 5 or 7 more years. So I'm going to keep trying out.
Do you see Do you see the Packers in the draft going after a few more quarterbacks just to really load up at the position?
I think so. I think that's what you're seeing across the league is more and more teams. You don't want just one guy or 2 guys at that position. You want 3 or 4. You want some options, and I think it's a strong possibility moving forward every year to just add to that room.
A whole bunch of big-name quarterbacks got traded this offseason, and your name was never brought up. Did that make you feel sad that you weren't even in the market?
Not really, Ken.
You're happy there?
Yeah, I didn't think a whole lot about that.
Do you want to finish your career there? Do you want to be a lifer in Green Bay? I mean, it's kind of been your team so far.
Yeah, so far it's definitely been my team. I said last year I didn't know if that was actually possible to be able to finish there. I still feel like that's kind of where we're at. I mean, I don't know that a lot of that's in my hands, but I guess we'll kind of see as we go.
Well, when you say things like that, then he just said it's not in his hands. He might be right. Like, things get misinterpreted. Wouldn't you like to just proclaim, I'm there, I'm your guy. I want to keep throwing for Lombardi Avenue all day.
Ken, you and I both know that's not how it works.
No. Like Russell Wilson. He just answered a question.
Yeah. I'm not, necessarily going to approach it like how some of that stuff came out. But look, like I said last year, there's things that are just out of my control. The team has obviously the power to do what they want. My job is just to play as well as I can. I think there may have been, ideas about what certain things meant in the last year. I just focused on my play, went out and played really well, won MVP, and I've been having a hell of an off season. So that's kind of what's been going on with me. So
we'll characterize it that you were coy about your future status and you're still beefing with your coach. To the 17-game schedule, were you pleased to see that? I mean, what the heck? Why not have 20 games at this point? Just more chances to throw.
I love you, Kenny. You are the absolute best on this network, and I love that we get to do this together.
We're still doing it right now. Interview's still going.
We're still live? We're still live?
Yep.
Okay. I wasn't a fan of 17 games. I wasn't a fan.
I'm with the players. I'm with the players on that one. It's a dangerous enough sport, and you're sticking yourself out there one more time.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan back when we talked about it last February in Indy with the owners. At that point, I think things were already past even negotiating. They made it known that The 17th game was just to pay for the benefits, as they called it, for the in the new collective bargaining agreement that the players wanted. But I don't think there's anything in that about player safety. It's more about revenue generation. Obviously, it was a difficult year for everybody. In the NFL, we had down revenue based on not having the fans, and obviously the experience of game day was way different this year than in years past. But we knew, and we told the membership. I was very vocal about it when there was a vote on the CBA last year. If you guys vote for this and vote yes, there will be 17 games. And here we are. It's going to be 17 games.
One serious question on the draft. Do you ever say to the management, hey, man, you see that one guy, that receiver from such and such school, or do they ever listen to you and I'd really like this guy to be in my backfield or this guy to be my receiver?
No.
Very well. Totally different topic. Have you fallen so deeply in love that you just don't have time to answer text messages? Because it sure seems like that. It seems like you're occupied elsewhere lately.
Yes, I am very preoccupied lately, Kenny, and I apologize if you're going to get sensitive about that. There's nothing I can do about that. I'm in the in that la love land phase right now.
Love is love for sure. Do you see when the wedding goes down, it'll be televised in Green Bay, Chico, Butte College, like a royal wedding? And do you consider yourself American royalty? The two of you.
Look, all I know is that if I could have my pick, I would want Cord and Tish to be at my wedding and to do a live broadcast of it. Those of you that know who Cord and Tish are, they've been prominent in Rose Bowl parades, and also they televised, live televised and commentated the royal wedding with, of course, Tim Meadows as the in-the-field reporter. And if there was to be a televised wedding, I would definitely want those three to be there and to be the main commentators, Kenny.
And maybe Will Ferrell officiating the wedding?
Well, if you know who Cord and Tish are, then you wouldn't have asked that question, my friend.
I'm sorry. I remember I missed your Uncle Rico reference as well, because I think I slept in that part of the movie.
Well, you should probably watch it again. You remind me of Uncle Rico from time to time with your uncanny one-liners, your love of nostalgia, and your constant reminders of you being a triple option quarterback back in the day. Every time I see you, it seems like you bring that up.
I don't think I said that. I talked about it was more of a lag sprint package. Randall Cunningham was underneath us. Gosh, where else do we go? Are you registered anywhere? Like, I know a lot of people, your fans will want to send you gifts. Are you guys registered at Bed Bath & Beyond or anything?
There hasn't been time yet to register, so I will. When that does happen, I'll definitely let you know. And then, you being the social media darling that you are, I'm sure you can get the word out and get the message out. I'm sure that
you do.
You send over a nice gift.
For the wedding itself, you do face a serious problem where you're going to have people like, guys say they were snubbed for the All-Star game. It's going to come around to that, like who got snubbed, who didn't get to go to the Bahamas or wherever you pull this off. Yeah,
Kenny, I've definitely thought about that for about half a second.
TJ Lang? Is TJ Lang on the list? He's got to be, right? Josh Sitton?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's a really tight guest list. I'm sure it will be. But don't expect any save the dates. Kenny, just want to put that out there.
I wasn't talking about me. I was talking about the NFL type people. You're going to have these guys like, really? You're going to get a lot of reallys?
We'll see. Okay. We'll see, Kenny. A lot of sensitive people out there. A lot of, a lot of offense. I'm sure that I'll be offending a lot of people with whoever's invited or not invited.
I agree.
And then obviously the order of groomsmen. I'm sure there'll be some sort of offense taken by certain people. Much like who the favorite receiver is of all time. I'm sure there'll be battles between Randall and Jordy and Devontae on who's standing at number 4 position or number 5 position.
I assume you'll put more effort into the flowers and the arrangements than the backdrop for this interview itself. Are you just going, really benign, just simplistic?
This is my favorite green screen, actually, Kenny.
That's a green screen? Okay. Hey, one last question. Have you seen any UFOs this week?
I saw a video a friend sent me about a UFO over a southern state somewhere. Looked really, really interesting. Not necessarily real, but interesting for sure.
They're here.
They're among us.
Jeopardy!
I just want to give, before we get off, I just want to give one shout out to my good friend Jodie Foster, and a big congratulations again on the Golden Globe win. You're an inspiration to us all, and very appreciative of you helping me so many different ways.
We'll get that part on the ESPN News 1 to 3 a.m. episode of this. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Ken.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.